Medusa the Gorgon, a woman with a deadly gaze. What do Athena, Poseidon, and a severed head that still kills after death have in common? Medusa, one of the three Gorgon sisters in ancient Greek mythology, was the daughter of sea deities Phorcys and Sato. Unlike her immortal sisters, she was mortal. Her fame was also her curse. With a single glance, she could turn any living being into stone. Her head became the weapon of the hero Perseus. From the depths of the sea to the edge of the world, Medusa was born into a family of sea monsters, Phorcys and Sato, primordial sea gods. Her sisters Stheno and Euryale were also Gorgons. According to Hesiod's Theogony, all three were terrible creatures who lived far in the west, at the edge of the world, beyond Oceanus, where eternal night and silence reigned. Yet Medusa was unique because she was mortal. This trait proved decisive in her fate. She could be killed, and that's exactly what Perseus did. But before we get to the end, let's understand how she became the creature we know, a beautiful mortal before the curse. Not all sources describe Medusa as monstrous from the start. In a later version of the myth, told by the Roman poet Ovid in Metamorphoses, Medusa was once a stunningly beautiful woman. Her beauty captivated everyone, especially her glorious hair. But that beauty became her downfall. In Athena's temple, Poseidon raped Medusa. This was not only an act of violence against a mortal, it was also a desecration, for it happened in a sacred space. Athena, outraged not by Poseidon's deed, but by the violation of her temple, punished Medusa. She transformed her hair into snakes and her gaze into a weapon that turned all living things to stone. From then on, Medusa became an outcast, condemned to isolation. The solitude of the monster. Was she a beast or a victim? Deformed and cursed, Medusa lived with her sisters in the far reaches of Hyperborea or the Libyan desert, depending on the source. In the works of Hesiod and Pindar, the Gorgons are described as beings with bronze hands, golden wings, and boar-like tusks. They were guardians, hermits, and invincible. Medusa did not seek conflict. She lived in seclusion. But anyone who entered her domain was doomed. Warriors, hunters, heroes, all turned to stone. Was it her fault, or was she forced into becoming a weapon? Hero versus curse, Perseus. When King Polydectes gave Perseus the impossible task of retrieving a Gorgon's head, the gods themselves came to his aid. Athena and Hermes gifted him magical items, winged sandals to fly, a pouch to carry the head, a helmet of invisibility, and a shining shield. Perseus never looked at Medusa directly. He approached at night while the Gorgons slept and used the shield's reflection to strike. In that moment, two beings sprang from her body, Pegasus and Chrysaor, the children of Poseidon conceived during the assault. They were born only upon her death. A head that lived on. And now, the mystery promised at the beginning. Medusa's head retained its power even after her death. In fact, it grew stronger. Perseus wielded it as a weapon, turning enemies to stone, saving his mother, and punishing Polydectes. According to one version, Perseus gave the head to Athena, who embedded it into her aegis, a divine shield or breastplate. Thus, Medusa, the woman-turned-monster, became an eternal part of the goddess's power. Medusa is one of the most controversial figures in Greek mythology. In early texts, she is a ruthless monster. In later ones, a tragic victim. Her snake-haired head became a symbol of terror, protection, and power. In Hesiod's Theogony, her role is brief but fatal. In Ovid's telling, deeply emotional and tragic. Today, her image lives on in art, fashion, philosophy, logos. But who was she, truly? A monster or a woman who never had a choice? Thank you for reading to the end. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world to us.